Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Faustino Di Bauda, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Awesome. And he played Sleepy on the hit television show Once Upon a Time. Hey Faustino, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Scotty. How about yourself?
I'm glad that we can make this happen. I'm really happy to have you on.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yep, absolutely. You're the third dwarf of Once Upon a Time I got on my show. I'm really excited about that.
Oh, is that right? So who was the first two then?
The first one I had on was Michael Coleman.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one I had on was Lee Ehrenberg.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yep, yeah. So I'm so excited. So the first question I got for you is, how did you get your start into acting?
Well, that's a long one. I'll condense it down. I never in my lifetime thought I would be an actor. Just to take back when I was a kid and, going into drama and all this stuff. I remember when I was in grade 3, we had like a Christmas play. I think everybody's had a Christmas play or something once or twice. And they try to get you to sing and try to get you to, to speak. And I was extremely shy. And I mean, English was never my first language, right? So it was always, it was tough for me, right? And so then when I just never thought of it. And then one day, when I was in my 30s, I guess, I went to India and I was on a yoga retreat and I was just joking around with the swamis one day. And then one of the swamis who was laughing at whatever I was saying all the time, and says, "Hey, you're funny, man." He says, are you an actor? And I said, "An actor? No, man. I'm not an actor. I'm a stonemason, right? And he goes, "What would make you think I'm an actor?" He says, "Oh, because you're funny and whatever." And I go, "Oh, okay, right." And he says, "You should be an actor." And I said, "Yeah, right." Dismissed it. Never thought of it. A year goes by. Never thought of it again. But then one day I was the second trip to India. First time was yoga. Second time was meditation. And it just kept coming into me one day where, have you ever meditated?
I have, yes.
Okay. So there's, those times when you're sitting there by yourself. So you just got you and your thoughts, right?
Yep.
So there's, the whole premise of it is that, the thoughts come and go, right? You try not to get attached to them. You try not to, give them life, you just let them kind of move along, right?
Yep.
And just think about your breath, your breathing, and the body yourself, right? So I started doing that, but I couldn't shake it. So I think that day I made a promise to myself, and I said to myself, okay, so when I get back to Canada, if acting is offered to me in any shape or form, I have no clue what that's going to look like. I'll say yes. And that was the first. Just it was almost to get it out of my hair because I just wanted to meditate that day. And after I did that, I was able to meditate and get on with it. And a lot of other series of things took place with meditation and dreams, and a lot of things happened when I was there in India that year. And anyways, I get back home. Several months go by. One day I'm at the gym, and my trainer, I said, "So when you're not training people during the day, what else do you do?" He says, "Well, this is just not really my job." He says, "I'm an actress, right?" An actress. I go, "Wow, that's interesting." So I says, "How does one get into acting?" She tells me, "Well, I mean, you could take courses and stuff, and there's a school." I says, "Any school you recommend?" "Oh yeah, absolutely." And she starts, naming one place and that she loves, right? And I went, "Okay, cool." So I go there. I find out what's required to get in. I had to put together a demo and do a live reading for them and whatnot. And that happened. And I never thought I'd do something like that because, once again, I'm extremely shy. I'm not a person that. I said, English was never my first language. So I was, as a kid growing up, I was always laughed at as far as my ability to speak properly, right?
Yeah.
Kids can be mean, just how it is, right? Yeah, then I just went there, started taking courses and learned various disciplines, and eventually took it on a bit more like full time. First it was part time, and then I just dropped it all together, traveled, went to Europe, met a girl, got married, came back to Canada, and then it's still sitting there in the back of my head, and I just pursued it, and with
Nice,
other
nice.
things. Yeah, that's it.
Nice, nice. So what was your audition like for Once Upon a Time?
It was interesting because I went in there that day. For starters, I never got an audition for TV and film. It was always commercial auditions that my agent was sending me out for. And so one day I had the nerve. I called him up and I said, "Hey, I've been with you now for 3 years, and I'd like to go out for some TV and film." And he goes, "Well, you haven't even booked anything." I says, "Yeah, I'm not a very, when it comes down to selling stuff, I guess I'm not so great with that, and maybe I don't have that look." But I says, "I mean, this is my training. This is what I do." And he says, "Well, it's not that easy. I'll have to see what I can do, right?" So he gets me an audition at the time, and it was this for this pilot called Once Upon a Time. So it was my very first TV and film audition, for starters. Went in there, and that day I knew as far as the audition and what they required, but I forgot the main things. The main things, I forgot my resume and I forgot my headshot. So I came in there totally unprepared in that sense, right? But I came in nevertheless, and they said, "Okay." It was the sign. It was the scene where we're at the tower where the curse is coming in, right?
Yep.
And I think Grumpy says, "The curse is coming," right? And then I say, "What is it?" Right? And that's it. That was just it. Just a simple one little line thing, right? But so I did it. They liked it. They said, "Okay, when you're finished here, can you look this way?" "Yeah, sure, no problem." "Oh, do you mind waiting? We're just gonna just do you mind waiting in the hallways?" I go, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Okay, no problem, man." So I don't know what they're doing, but they just told me to wait in the hall, right? So I'm sitting there. It's kind of odd, and just like I said, it's my very first TV and film, so I don't know, right? And then about 20 minutes go by, and then the producer comes in, and the director of that particular episode, which was Mark Mylod, and Steve, and he says, "Oh, we did the audition," and I think Mark was trying to play it in different ways. He says, "So Faustino, not that it could be funny, but what would it look like if it was funny?" So I think it could be funny, because I mean, let's face it, you can find humor in anything, right? So he played it, he liked it, and that was that. I just left, and I felt kind of like, okay, well. So I asked the girl, "Hey, do you want me to go home and pick up my headshot and resume?" He goes, "No, it's fine, it's fine." And that was that. So I left, and a week later they called us all in, and minus at the time I thought it was a callback, but it wasn't. They were putting together the team, the dwarfs. There was everybody but Lee, because Lee was in LA at the time, and so we just did a little quick video, I guess, for Eddie and Adam, right? And that's it.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. So what was the best part about filming Once Upon a Time, and what was the worst?
The best part of filming Once Upon a Time was just filming Once Upon a Time. It was fun all the time, right? I mean, it was really a lot of fun. Yeah. The worst thing about it was when you are, let's just say, working. You got to understand, Vancouver, it rains a lot here, and it's high moisture, so sometimes it can get very, very cold and wet, right? And we are filming for the most part during, let's just say, okay, we start filming in July, right? And then we stop filming for just the 2 weeks in Christmas. And then we continue all the way till, I guess, the beginning of March, maybe, or beginning of April. I can't remember exactly now.
Yeah.
and at the beginning of April, and that's that. So we're in the worst months, you know, and then comes spring, and then we're just, you know, we're on our own, right? That's it.
Yeah.
So the worst part about it is getting wet on set, you know, and not having enough heat to keep yourself warm, right? Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely. So do you have any memorable stories or moments that from filming Once Upon a Time that you want to tell the listening and viewing audience?
Sure. There's a lot. I mean, there's just, I always, one of these people that kind of look for signs in life, you know, that the way that we're kind of treated back. And I just remembered like things where nature kind of comes in and visits us, right? I mean, there was a special scene where I think they had it and they didn't cut it out. It just kind of worked in there. Some people caught it, and some people didn't. But there was a time when, I think it was in season 2 or 3, we were out on the river with Snow and Charming, and a deer happens to just walk into our scene.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, and so that was kind of a neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and there was another time, I think, at the wedding scene where literally we had not, what do they call these things? Pigeons. I think it was pigeons. 2 birds, anyways, got into the studio when we were doing this. Yeah, so it was kind of cool. We're just, wow, man, like we've got these birds flying around in here, you know, and they got the green screen and all this, you know, so you can see them, right? It's not like they're difficult seeing them, right? Because right, you know, and yeah, that was quite special on its own, you know, and just the overall fun we had on set, you know, was just a lot. Yeah.
So when you first heard about the show and its premise, what were your initial thoughts of it? Did you think it would be as big as it was?
Yeah, I read the I mean, I was part of a service where they give you all and I got the whole script for the pilot. So instead of just, you know, reading your audition piece, I read the whole pilot, right? So as I was reading it, I'm just looking at this and I'm going, wow, this is great. And then I just said to myself, I think this is going to be a hit. You know, you're just reading it, you go, yeah, this is really good. And that's it. And I just, you know, when you know, and that's it. Yeah. So yeah, I did know. I mean, no one really knows, but I mean, you know, when you know.
You kind of know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was at my parents' house when I was living with them, and I think it was when they were going to the underworld. I seen a commercial, and I didn't watch Once Upon a Time before that. So it was like the first half of season 5 was over. The next, like they're promoting the 100th episode and everything, and you know Cruella's back and all them people are back. So I remember seeing like this commercial, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna watch that, but I can't watch it now because I mean I need to watch it from the beginning. I'm not gonna know what the hell's going on here. So I ended up looking for it, and I found it on Netflix. And I watched it from episode 1, season 1, all the way to the 99th episode, the last episode that was filmed when, you know, Emma, you know, and, you know, killed Hook, and he went to the underworld and that. And, you know, and then they were ready to go to the underworld and that. And I think I had like a month and a half to watch it because a month and a half, season 5, part B was going to start. And I finished it, all 99 episodes, in like 3 weeks.
Oh wow. Yeah, I get like that too. Yeah,
and ever since I watched the entire series from season 1, episode 1 till the very last episode of season 7. I watched all of the episodes at least 14, 15 times straight through.
Oh wow. I'm just gonna go close a window. I'm feeling a bit of a draft. Just give me a second.
Not a problem.
That's better. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, no. Yeah, you know, when you get to it, it's like, okay, first, that's all right. You know, I can deal with it. And then it's like, no, I can't deal with it anymore. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what was it like working with Lana Parrilla and the rest of the cast and crew of the show? Did it become like a family?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt that way. Sure. I mean, it was, we're always civil to each other for the most part. I mean, everybody has days that they're not feeling good, you know, but for the most part, it was never really spilled out. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, let's face it, I mean, you're working in these long hour days. Sometimes, I mean, geez, we start sometimes at 6 in the morning and we don't finish till like midnight or, something
Yeah.
like that. Or sometimes we start like, if it's a night shoot and we start like just say in the afternoon, and then we don't get off till, I think one time we got off at around literally at 4 or 5 in the morning,
Oof.
and then we
Yeah.
just went out for breakfast at Denny's. I think Ginny and Josh treated us out that time. It was quite
That's
nice.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. So did you happen to see all of the episodes of Once Upon a Time since they aired?
Oh yeah, I've watched everyone. Sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So the last question I got for, actually, before we go there, what episode do you think is your favorite?
Well, they're all good. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I really liked for season wise, for me, season one was
Yeah.
quite special. At that time it was just the premise of what they wanted to show. Of course, the show evolved over time, right?
Yeah.
And changed with various storylines, and whether they had that in the works, I don't know,
Yeah.
right? I have
Right.
no clue. I mean, I can't read into Eddie and Adam's thoughts, but it was very raw and very interesting of that whole
Yeah.
what they had planned, and
Yeah.
and the stories that were already kind of coming up. And then I think even when the Frozen took place, that was kind of neat on its own too, because
Yeah.
I mean it was still, I mean it was new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was I loved them all. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the last question I got for you is, do you have any other projects in the works to tell the listening and viewing audience that you would like to promote?
Say that again, please.
Do you have any projects in the works that you would like to promote to the listening and viewing audience? Anything else that you would like to plug?
At this present moment, I don't know, because there's certain ones that I've done that I don't know where they're at this point. I think
Right.
the last thing that got aired of my work was Descendants 3.
Okay.
So, and that was with Disney Plus. Outside of that, I think most of the other stuff is already aired.
Okay.
But there's 2 more that haven't aired yet. So, but anyways, it will.
Okay.
I can't recall the names right now. I'm sorry.
All right, not a problem. Well, I thank you, Faustino, for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Scotty. I really
Yep.
appreciate
I'm
it.
glad that we can make this happen, but you have a great rest of your day.
And you as well. Thanks,
All right,
Scotty.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.